Hello, everyone. Good morning, and good morning, Stephanie. It's almost
Hi,
afternoon
Jen.
time for you.
I know the countdown's on for afternoon.
Yeah, yeah.
29 minutes.
You got a little bit of morning left. It'll still apply.
Oh, I
Oh
know.
my
And I was at the
goodness.
doctor this morning, Jen. And so it's like on the way home, I literally said it out loud. Well, there you go. There's half the day.
There's half the day.
There's half
Yes.
the day.
I still have most of the day in front of me, although it's so crazy hot here in Southern California.
Well,
Uh,
and before we
yeah.
started to go live, you were sharing with me something I knew nothing about. And it's just
Mm.
proof of you think you know what you know, and then you find out stuff you don't know. And this whole I mean, you have obviously fires on in your area,
Yeah,
but then
fires.
this outage. I mean, I am like mind blown, baffled that tomorrow from 9 to 2,
Yes, they're
you
shutting
will
our
have
power off.
no power.
Yeah, fun times. Yeah, we really can't stay home because we won't have AC, we won't have internet, Wi-Fi, any of that stuff. So we will be relocating to my parents' house for the day.
I cannot believe. I cannot believe that
The
this is.
timing is not fantastic. It's going to be 105 or some ridiculous amount. So I don't know.
I mean, then you have other
Yeah.
issues. Like, what about people who can't go somewhere else, Jen?
Well,
And I
that's a
worry about
challenge,
that.
right?
I
Yeah, it is
know.
a real challenge. I mean, there's definitely some significant issues with it. So
Well, and Nancy, hi Nancy. Yes, glad for
yes.
do-overs. I'm so glad you all were so patient with us and having to reschedule. But Nancy lives in California too. So Nancy, I'm interested if you have dealt with this. Yeah. Let me know. Let us know. I'm interested if you deal with these outages too. I mean, Jen, no joke. Like the thought of that is so archaic. We're in the 21st century. Like,
Yeah, I mean, when it gets really hot, we do often have rolling blackouts because there's just not enough power. They had some in Northern California. We didn't have any last night, but we were close. And then
mm-mm.
when there's fire danger, a lot of times they shut the power off because of the fire danger. So that's the other potential is because of the fires where they are south of us, north of us. I walked out this morning and it was yeah, smoke everywhere and smells
Wow.
really smoky.
Wow.
So they could shut the power off, for that. So,
That's just
anyways, the downside of working at home.
well, Jen, you told me the other day because actually, have we talked since my vacation where there was a fire on my vacation? Have we talked about this?
We have not talked about that. You and I
We have
personally
not.
have, but we have not talked
Yes.
about it
So
here.
I was going to say it's just because you shared a beautiful nugget of truth, which is great for any author out there. I just got back from a trip to Florida, and my daughter is terrified of lightning. And I keep telling her lovely stuff like, when you're in a car, you're safe. When you're with me, you're safe. That's just what parents tell their kids.
Right.
And while we're on at dinner, my dad, who was with us on vacation, called and said that our condo was on fire, got struck by lightning. The fire trucks were there. And as authors out there, I will share this part of my life because you all will get it. Not so smart Stephanie took with her so many things that she shouldn't have, including a manuscript of the book, Jen, that you are helping me with. And it was all sitting on an external hard drive inside the condo that was being flooded by firefighters and water, and through the grace of God or whatever else I'm calling it God. That was total God. That nothing got hurt. But I was about to say, you shared with me, and now I'm sharing it back with you. You said, Stephanie, this is great fodder for a future book.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Same
Yes.
thing
I
with you
mean,
and the outages.
these are things that you never expect in life. You just can't plan for stuff. And
No.
in my books, in every series, there's always a fire because living in Southern California, it's just a part of what we
Yeah.
deal with. And so why not take that anxiety and stress and all of the things that your preparation and all of that kind of stuff and put it into your work. It's a great way, great positive way to deal with whatever you're going through. And I think over time, authors have done that. They've taken their stress and put everything into their creativity, whatever that's songwriting or painting or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
In our case, it's words. And so I think it's a great way to take some of the things that you're going through and put them into a creative kind of medium, make some good out of it. So
It does.
that's
And
my
our key differentiator in life, any of us between any other person. The difference between me and you, Jen, outside of the fact that you live in places where fires happen simultaneously or spontaneously. I live in a farm where we burn things regularly on purpose.
Right.
So,
Yes.
outside of that, the key differentiator is you and your experience. And that
Yes.
is what makes your story, your message, your
Yes.
book, your work, your life different and meaningful, and your story something that matters. So absolutely,
Yes.
every opportunity is beautiful fodder to put away for a rainy book day.
Yes.
And
And that's the thing,
yes.
when people will say, and they probably say to you this to
Mhm.
you too, well, somebody's already written a book about that, but nobody has
Mhm.
written it with your perspective, with your voice, with your take on it.
Yep.
Nobody else can match that.
No.
And that is what makes, like you said, that's the differentiator. And you've probably, I've had this experience too, where you've read multiple books on a subject, but one just really jumps out at you because
Mhm.
of the way the author speaks, the stories
Yes.
they share, just something
Yes.
about them, it just resonates with you. And so I
Yep.
tell my authors, you never know who your book is going to impact, who it's
Mhm.
going to resonate with. They're going to understand your story, relate to your story more so than they might somebody else on that same topic. So
Absolutely. And that's
write
why we should
it.
all do it. Do
That's
it.
right.
Do
Yes.
it.
There's never,
And
never too many books.
absolutely. And I don't know if their name is P or if that's an initial,
Oh,
but
that's
someone,
Paula. That's Paula.
Paula. Okay, what a beautiful tool to acknowledge. Jen is backing up your and I did
Yes.
think the good news is, even though I had my external hard drive, I do have everything backed up on the cloud, but still I
Yes.
was working in real time on the external hard drive.
Yes.
You live and learn, and that's when you identify you need tools to help you get there. And Jen,
Yes.
that's the the cornerstone of today's book.
Tools for
Yeah.
today. So book funnel is what we're highlighting today. I don't know how many of you out there know book funnel, but is a fantastic resource for authors. Every part of the writing journey, and they have it's so affordable, it's amazing. So
Mhm.
I'm going to actually share my screen and show you my book funnel and some of the cool things we can do with it. I was telling Stephanie about this the other day, and I was like, this is just one of my favorite tools.
So while you're
Okay.
pulling it up, let me add some stuff to the conversation. So what I've found in the space of authors and writing and what have you is there's new tools on the regular, and you
Yes.
don't know you need something till you need something, and then you're like, oh, what about
So
that?
true,
Right.
right?
So I was
So
always
true.
familiar with book funnel from collaborating with other people.
Yeah.
But in my forthcoming book, I was trying to think of a really easy way of sharing information and parts of my, an early read to individuals who might help with testimonials or endorsements or my launch team or what have you.
Right.
So I, as a indie author, was putting on that hat, and I'm like, this is just proof. Sometimes you only know enough, and you just scratch the surface. And so,
Right.
Jen, you know so much more, and I'd love to learn more about it from you.
So book funnel is a fantastic way, does a lot of different things for authors, basically helping you connect your work with your readers. So this is my homepage, and they have a very beginning author price is like $20 for a year. The mid list is like $90 a year, and it's just has such
It's worth
fantastic
it.
features. It's totally worth it. So you'll see here on my book funnel dashboard, these are things that have gone out lately. I have
This is
part
cool,
of an onboarding sequence. So in my mailer system, whatever, if you use MailChimp, MailerLite, I happen to use ConvertKit. As they get emails from me when they sign up for my newsletter, they get free stuff. And this is one of the free things. So it says there's that free item here has had a couple downloads. This is a review copy that I can send out. This was an old book. So sometimes I'll send books out for review, either to beta readers or reviewers or ARCs, things like that. I write bonus epilogues to my books, so people can sign up for my newsletter and get the bonus epilogues. So there's, as you see, all these different
awesome.
wide variety. How many of these I have that people and some of these, like this, Never Met a Stranger. This was my first freebie like 6 years ago. People are still grabbing it.
Are you
so
kidding?
That is to say, it's okay to, continue to offer things. People, there's no expiration date. It's new to that person. So why not?
Your book doesn't have a
allow it?
shelf life. Your
It
book
does
doesn't have a
not.
shelf life.
So here's a couple things. One of the first things, and I mentioned this, is ARCs. So ARCs are advanced reader copies. And when you have written your book, you want to send it out to people to potentially give you endorsements, reviews, things like that. And one of the great ways to do it is through BookFunnel. Now, you can do just a regular old send it to somebody through BookFunnel, but they have something called certified mail. And this is specifically made for ARCs. And so you upload, like here, this is my last book, Beneath the Starlit Sky. I uploaded it. I uploaded my ARC team's emails, and it sends it to them. So you see here, I had 19 recipients. It told me everybody downloaded it. I can actually get a little report. I'm not going to scroll down because I don't want to show their emails.
Sure.
But anyways, it's got a list of their emails. It tells you when they picked it up. And so if someone doesn't get their ARC, you can see, hey, so-and-so did not pick up their ARC yet. And you can remind them or send it. And you basically preload some emails. So it'll send the ARC with an email. It'll send a reminder email if you want it back by a certain date, something like that. So it's fantastic. The fact with it being quote unquote certified mail is you can see exactly when they got it. Just like if you were doing it through the post office and you got the little tag back that said they had signed for it. This is kind of the electronic version of that. So it's fantastic. It's kind of a set it and forget it. You set it all up and it goes out at a scheduled time. So it's really, really fantastic for ARCs.
Jen, that makes me happy. Marketing automation
yes.
in the book world, behind the scenes.
If you've got someone helping you, they can set it up for you. It just makes it so much easier. The other thing I love about it, I use this a lot, is for reader magnets. You know, we love reader magnets. We want to give away freebies and things for people in exchange for their email address. And so you can start up. Here's a good example. This is a short story. You create a little landing page. This is a short story. I created a cover for it. And then if you'll notice here, there's the different versions. Nobody really uses the Mobi anymore, but the EPUB. And so here, let me show you what this looks like to the reader.
Yeah, please. I was dying. I wanted to see.
This is so cool. So when I send the reader the link, this is what they get. Okay, that seems odd.
I don't see it.
This is, I know why, because that window is not sharing. It's just sharing this window. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see if I can figure out how to make that work. I don't know.
You might have to stop sharing and then come back.
Think you're right. Let me
stop sharing, and I'll do a song and dance while you're doing that. Hey, Nancy. Nancy mentions in the chat that she loves BookFunnel. And Paula, I'd be curious, anybody else watching too, put in the chat or the comments, if you use BookFunnel, what's some of your favorite things that you use it for? I will tell you, Jen, there are so many times we have great chats and we both are like learning, but this is one of the first ones that I'm literally pulling out my pen and my Remarkable, and I'm taking notes because it's proof that understanding the nuances of what authors specifically need are really, really important. Yeah. So Nancy, Nancy said that they're rolling out some new features. They've announced 2. You can't leave us hanging. You must tell us, what are those 2?
Right.
I am so curious.
There it is. Okay. I figured it out. There we go. You were right. Stop sharing, start sharing. So this is what your readers get. They get this lovely landing page. You put your little, your little blurb here. And then there's a couple things. They actually have a browser and they have their own kind of little app. So you could read in a dedicated BookFunnel app or right on your computer. Or here's the part I love, because I do not want to be anybody's tech support. If I click on this, it'll say, hey, what do you want to read it on? Do you want to read it on your phone or a Kindle or a Nook or your computer? And whatever you select, it'll walk you through the steps of how to do that. And that is the best thing in the world, because if you have a problem, let's say I want to go to my Kindle and I'm going to put on my Kindle Fire. It gives me this little code, tells me how to do it. If I have any trouble at all, they have a nice big help button, and BookFunnel will answer my readers' questions. I don't have to answer my readers' questions.
That's amazing.
So you can have 2 different landing pages. You notice when I asked this one, it did not ask for their email. So this is like a freebie. If you already have their email, if you're giving it away to your reader, your newsletter list, something already in your newsletter list, they don't have to put their email in again. I can create another landing page that asks for their email in exchange. So you've got,
and that would that push that into your email system, whichever email system you
yes,
want?
it
Yep.
connects with whoever you've got going on. So it automatically works for that, which is fantastic. I'm going to go back to
That's
their
awesome.
main
And while you're doing that,
page.
Nancy just acknowledged that they also have watermarks, which would be amazing,
Yes,
and
yes.
that you can do ebook samples, which is awesome. She says you can customize almost all the language, including the opt-in language, which
You
is important.
can. It's fantastic with all of the options that you have
Yep.
on there. Everything is, the colors, all sorts of things are really,
Yep.
really customizable. So if you look here under my landing page, this is where you can customize all these
Mm-hmm.
different little things. And there's some advanced settings. There's download stats, so you can see how many people view it versus download. So, really nice
Oh,
high
wow.
conversion rate. You can also see what
Absolutely.
people are reading on,
Mm.
Android, iOS, PC, Mac, Kindle. I'm surprised a lot more people are reading on their phones, and that's what we're seeing the trends for, right? As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to a dedicated e-reader. So that could be interesting depending on the kind of book you're writing.
That's
So
really amazing.
so you've got, if you see under this landing page, you can have an email sign up. This is where it collects an email for people to sign
Mm-hmm.
up. Here's where they just download. You can actually have a sales page where it sends them directly to buy your book on your Amazon or Barnes and Noble or wherever you are selling your book.
Mm.
Let me see if I can.
And why would you do that separate from like
If you,
leveraging your website? Or is it
if
if you
for
don't
some
have
reason,
one?
well, yes, there's that. Also, the thing is, if you do a group promo, so it's a wonderful way. We'll segue right into that. It's a wonderful way to have to get things to your readers, but there's also promotional items going on in BookFunnel. So you can find promos similar to your genre. And you'll see on this promo list, there's some that are newsletter promos and some that are sale promos, some that are Amazon promos. So they're different kinds. So a newsletter means a group of us are going to put our books on sale and say we're all writing historical romance, and we are going to put it on sale the week before Christmas. And so when the readers click, they go to a page that has all of the books listed on it. I don't know if it'll show up because this is like an expired one. But someone will decide to host this promo. Let me see. That's just and so you can see here's a whole bunch of people who've decided to join this promo. This is an old one. And so BookFunnel makes a lovely landing page with all of your books on there, and then people can click on them and decide where they want which books they want and what newsletters they're going to sign up for. So this newsletter promo, it's for building your newsletter. It requires a free book giveaway to join. The nice thing about these promos are, especially if you're a newer author and you're trying to build your newsletter, this is a great way to do it. You can get into these promos and you can participate, and all you have to do is give away a book. And there are people that are hosting these all the time, and they're all listed right here in BookFunnel. Now, go ahead.
Hang on, because let me add one thing to it. Here's something
Yeah.
I've noticed. And again, I'm a novice, so I'm learning. You can, when you upload a book or you upload elements, acknowledge how many downloads people can do. So this allows you, if you're
Yes.
giving away a book,
Limit.
you can say it's one. And that's what they get. And you're really not out anything except your IP. And that's really not accurate either, right? Like you're not out anything. You're not out like a paid book or pages or whatever. You are, giving people something.
Giving people stuff away is a great way to introduce when they have no idea who you are. Are they going to like your work? Are they not going to like your work? It's a great way to make a fan who will go on and buy your other work. And that sometimes at the beginning, you just need eyes on your work, right? You just need more people to see your work so they can fall in love with it. And so that is a huge advantage. So the sales, then what that does is, instead of being a free thing, a lot of times it's a discounted or maybe not even discounted. And it will, when someone clicks on the book, it'll take them to Amazon or wherever so they can buy the book. So a lot of times this is a discount. Again, it's letting people know in a similar genre. It's letting your readers know, hey, this, in this case, this is Christian women's fiction. I'm getting together with other writers. So if you like Christian women's fiction, you might find some new authors to follow here. So obviously you don't have as big of a following necessarily, like your numbers aren't as big because it's not free. But it's a great way. A lot of people really do enjoy finding new authors. So a sales promo is a great way to do that. They also have author swaps listed here. And so again, this is, you're finding other authors where, so here's an example, clean contemporary romance. So I might say to Eden, hey, I'll feature your book in my newsletter on this date if you'll feature my book in your newsletter on this date. You just swap. So now you're getting exposed to other authors' audiences. So they're going to like the same genre. So there's a chance that they're going to like your book. So it's another way to build your audience.
This is amazing.
Yeah, Jen, there's some amazing things. You can do audiobooks through here. You can gift a book where you're just going to send one book to someone and it just generates like a little gift code or an email link. I haven't done any of this, but you can do codes where if you wanted to print like postcards, like if you were doing an in-person book signing or something, that's a great way to give people the code to your book instead of like, you saw they had to go to a link and click in. Well, if you're in an in-person event and you wanted to do a giveaway, you could just print them out on some postcards and then hand those out, and then people can come in and get their free book.
So let me ask you, anything that you're giving or anything that you're putting out, because of how BookFunnel is, it's the electronic version, right? It's not.
Yes, it's the electronic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which again is easy, and it's like there's no skin off our backs, people.
Right. Yes, very true. And the ability to do audiobooks and samples is huge. And so as more and more people are going into direct sales and things like that, BookFunnel will integrate with payment systems so you can actually sell your book, your audiobook on your website, and then have BookFunnel do the delivery of it. It's just really fascinating. Amazing. All of the great things that we get to do. So it's one of my favorite tools. And I tell authors all the time, it's one of the first things you need to get BookFunnel going. Even if all you do is start out by using it to give it to ARC readers, it's so much easier than trying to email people stuff. And then they're like, how do I get it from my email onto my Kindle? And
it's so professional too. Here's the deal. It makes it look to the people that you are working with or wanting to share this like level of professionalism, that you mean business, that you're doing this because you know that your message is valuable. And, when you pour into yourself, like when you up level yourself and and the message that you get across, people see that and they align with it. So I love that, Jen. The other thing that came to my mind, of course, I'm thinking from a marketing lens. If you're looking at like strategic partners or strategic partnerships, media, podcast hosts, etc., many of them will ask if they can have early access to something. Well, I mean, sure, but many authors that I know will say, I'll put a book in the mail. Well, now you're thinking of media mail. So that's like 14 days, give or take. And then you're out a book and now shipping. There's nothing. You're not at anything.
Right. An ebook, you're not paying for shipping, you're not paying for printing. It is really the best way. I tell all of my authors now, do your ARCs electronically. So much easier than messing with it. It's just easier, especially since ARCs are usually done before they've gone through a final proofread and final formatting. So there's going to be errors and stuff in there. It's so much easier to fix electronically than trying to print up some samples. It's just, I don't want anyone to mess with paper ARCs anymore. They're not.
You don't have to. And the cost is so affordable. I have had a lot of fun playing around myself with my forthcoming book coming out. I love the branding elements that are allowed in it. I love the simplicity of it. And everything you shared today, I'm like, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. And it's just
So many
proof
fun
that
things.
one tool can do so much. I think
So many things.
as authors or authorpreneurs or entrepreneurs or business owners or just anybody savvy in business, I think we find ourselves thinking we always have to go find the next thing. And sometimes the thing you have can do all the things.
Yes. Fewer
Right?
tools. I'm really
Fewer
all about
tools.
fewer tools right now. There's so many things. And, you know, you could spend all your time trying to find the different little hack and this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, your time is valuable. And
It is.
so if you can find something that does a lot of what you need, this is fantastic. So having the promos built right in, connecting with other authors, I think that's something that is super valuable. Throughout your lifetime, even if you have a nice following, it never hurts to go in for part of a launch to see if you can swap with other authors, to find if there's other promos going on. I know, and I've done this before too, where I set up a promo around one of my launches for an earlier book to get some movement, get people excited about it. So it works really well as just a fantastic tool. I mean, you can't beat the price. And I have no affiliation with BookFunnel at all. Other than I just love it and I use it. So
yeah, we're not getting anything out of the deal today.
No.
You know, Jen, there was something else you said earlier, and I wrote it down, and I just want to. Yeah, Nancy says be selective about the promos you join. Absolutely. There's something you said though that was like a poof moment to me. And again, it's just proof that none of us know all the things. We're always learning. When you mentioned how you are using it as a bonus epilogue, it hit me. I'm like, that is brilliant.
Yes.
And if you are working, so side note, I have very strong feelings about somebody, and you might feel different, Jen, but for someone's opt-in on their website, an author, to be, I'll give you the first 3 chapters of the book. It irritates me to the core because it's not very innovative. Right. It is something that is, you know, I don't know. If your book's on Amazon, the look inside gives you pretty much some of that anyways. Exactly. So that said, if they get a bonus and that's the only like that, Jen, that is brilliant, gold, love every freaking thing about what you just shared.
Well, I mean, our goal is to have that direct contact with our readers. And so to do that, we've got to get their email addresses. So I have to offer them something they can't get anywhere else. And they're already in the story world, fiction, nonfiction, whatever. They're in your book. They've finished it. They loved it. They want more. That is the perfect time to ask them to give you their email address by offering them a little extra, something they can't get anywhere else. Now, I make sure that it's not a critical point for people that move on to the next book or something like that. Sure. But people love it. They want the little extra, you know, and as a reader, I want the extra. I mean, It's like the best part, like the little secret behind the scenes, whatever is going on there. It's fun. And
well, and I'm even thinking like
they're already there.
They're already there. I'm thinking in the nonfiction space, like, you know, what is something you talk about or you provide and other people consume in different ways that maybe is a value add. Maybe it's that chapter that you put on the cutting floor.
Absolutely.
Add that. Yes. Maybe it's more context about something, or, you know, there was a fiction author I worked with a while back, and her book was beautiful and she had such beautiful character development. But something I love that she did is she made you experience the character. So she put together recipes of what the character would eat and places the character would visit and whatever. And so that could be just a cool value add. And I never would have thought the book funnel could be a tool to deliver that.
It's perfect for that. It is absolutely perfect for that. And you can give it to your newsletter subscribers, people already on your list. So they feel like they're getting something special too. So I know, lots of good stuff. So that's a quick zoom through BookFunnel, one of our favorite tools. So next week, we're going to be talking about making an impact with your book. Stephanie has some great news to share with us next week. We're very excited about, and there's an opportunity if you want to see us both in person, that's coming up. So we're going to talk about that next week. So stay tuned for that. We just always want to remind you authors that you have power, your words have power, your message has power. And so we're inviting you to take that message to the page and beyond, and join us here each week as we help you along that journey.
Thanks so much, Jen. Thanks everybody that's tuning in. It was fun today.
It was fun. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.